Hi, it's me, it's Silver. Always whack. Sometimes, not always. Hmm. Um, if you are returning after a while and notice the slight change in username and stuff, yeah, that's something I did last week. Just so that I could um, come here and talk. Uh, I'm planning to change the name again. If I continue doing this, it's been kinda hard coming online lately because a certain figure has reappeared and a lots of common people have been talking about it, and yeah, I've clicked since I've been aware of this person and situation since pretty much the beginning. Um, but at the time, my own issues with a similar struggle were not as bad as they would become. And I don't know how else to explain this, but I've never been one to keep up with internet drama or what they now call the lol cows and the spectacles and stuff like that. I've never been one to really pay much attention to that or comment on it, even to friends or in private. Like, it was never something that I did, because in my mind it was just something that didn't concern me, and I had other issues to attend to. Like, it's not a case of I was going to talk about this, but I realized that I have a job. No, it's really that it's not in my character to really care about people I don't know, like on the internet, like random individuals. It's, for me, the things that make me care are like larger scale, like a group of people being in trouble or discriminated against for being a minority or like marginalized, not individuals, if that makes sense. Like, I there are some common people who bring up these things and talk about them respectfully and explain why it matters. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand now, but overall, I just the overly loud and angry people who start tearing people down and just going after things that don't really matter, such as the individual's appearance. No matter how bad someone is, I don't think that their appearance should ever be something that anyone goes after. Like, maybe that's because I had to endure, I don't want to call it bullying, because it was more scattered. It wasn't just one person or one group of people like telling me these things. It was just random, and yeah, I retaliated, but that stuff sticks, so yeah. And some of these people are just loud and unnecessarily angry, and sometimes they spread misinformation. But I do respect the people who try to approach the situations from a more general point of view and with nuance. Just to bring awareness to the subject, not the person. Because to me, if it's targeted at one person, then it no longer is about the issue or whatever wrongdoing that person might have done, might have been involved in, or whatever. It's just targeted. Pardon. And that's not productive. That isn't productive. And all this because, yeah, this person with a very strange family and a lot of controversies and a very controversial physique, if we want to avoid using words, since this platform is flawed to the absolute core. Yeah, it comes and goes like it's cycles, and now that this person is over 30, things seem to have gotten worse, and the family seems to be under scrutiny, rightfully so, I think, if the alleged information is true, then yeah, I was met with a random video that went over a lot of alleged information, and it just it hit very hard because a lot of it matched my own story. I don't know exactly what triggered that person, but I will just spitball and say that maybe one of the reasons might be similar to one of mine. Because in my case, it was not a single reason, it was several, and none of them was comments like mockery. Though in this person's case, it seems like that might have contributed in some way. I don't know. But I kind of wanted to say my piece on the subject. But to do that, I would have to script what I want to say, since I tend to just go off topic really fast. But if this alleged information is true, yeah, it's just a sad. I mean, it's been sad for a long time, but yeah, some of it was really bad stuff that was alleged again. And maybe this person didn't have it bad financially as I did, which was a contributing factor, but they had it bad in a different way, and like trauma isn't measured with a tape measure, like and when I really if I want to talk about this, I want to do it properly, and just brace myself in case it's seen and I'm inevitably misunderstood, and just take the heat. Maybe I need to learn how to do that, and as hard as it is, since I don't have help, and this person seems to have every resource available and just doesn't get help, and I don't know exactly why, but if the reason is wanting the end, I understand it. Just putting it very bluntly, I understand it. but because my circumstances are not the same. Like I've been doing terribly lately, and one of the reasons is this old trauma that, yeah, you know, being called ugly, which is something that this person also mentioned, was a thing that they were bullied for, whatever, even if it wasn't true, or what, just, you know, kids can be extremely cruel, and they have this alternative way of carrying themselves, like, and dressing and stuff, which, yeah, for people in our generation, it was bad. It was really bad. It was really bad, and it's stuff that stays with you. For me, it wasn't so much a case of being alternative, on purpose, because I liked, uh, fashion or whatever. It was because I was, and still am, poor, and I wore thrifted stuff and hand me downs and stuff like that. And yeah, it wasn't because I was alternative. It was because I was poor, basically, and looked strange in clothes that were out of fashion. And yeah, this stopped happening, I would say, around 2007, 8. I, I would risk saying 2007. Yeah, because that was when the boom of, like, alternative fashion being the fashion. It wasn't alternative anymore, since everyone was wanted that. So me dressing for, like, a thrift store aficionado or something wasn't seen as anything. Uh, I liked when I attended schools where you wore uniforms, because, yeah, that doesn't really happen in those schools, as much as some people don't like those schools. I think uniforms are pretty great when you are poor, because, yeah, I mean, at least for my generation, I don't really know how it is now, but, for my generation, that was the best, because everyone was dressed the same, so nobody was bullied for the way they dressed. That's why I just, yeah, the main thing that stuck was, yeah, ugly, weird, strange. Uh, Especially when I was not here and was in an Anglo-Saxon context. Yeah, well, This week wasn't much better because the same guy kept pestering me, and when my brother isn't there, it's worse. And he fucking touched me again, and twice. Uh, and the second time, like, it was my brother who basically did an intervention. Fuck, I can't speak. An intervention. Um, and said that I didn't have to put up with that just to avoid confrontation. And so when it happened, well, the third time, uh, I just retracted, and he kept doing it, and I was like, don't do that. And I just said, I don't like to be touched. And this fucking creep just go and like, oh, you don't like to greet people, because yeah, I live in a culture where people go for contact, but it doesn't do that to anyone else. So like, yeah, nice fucking try. I said, that's not the issue, I just don't like to be touched, especially without consent. Like, and this happening 2 days in a row. After the first day, I flinched and clearly showed that I didn't want it, and he did it again, clearly pushing the boundaries, and then playing the victim and being all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, don't mistake politeness for consent or interest. I know I'm ugly. I don't mind being single. I would rather be single and join a convent than have to deal with this kind of stuff. Especially because I'm in the ace spectrum, so I don't want this. I don't need it. The only times I went for it was for a couple of months, and I realized that I didn't want that, because I don't like it when it's not with someone I trust and I've known for a long time. Like, even to develop feelings that are more than just friendship or whatever, it takes a long time. Like, and I don't like contact, so I don't really crave contact, even if it's fleeting or like something like that. If that even makes sense. I'm just, my head is going haywire, because yeah, been feeling unsafe, and it's just been bringing back memories. I'd rather stay in the past, but the past is not the past. The past is the present, and the past is the future. And for someone like me who never really got the chance to unpack things, it's like, yeah, I'm stuck in the past. And it's dehumanizing. It really is. That's really the problem. It's dehumanizing. And with all the other issues, like, one of them is loneliness. And this loneliness comes from the trauma response, that is isolation. Like, I don't mind being alone, but when you feel like you're not even human, like you're so far removed from everyone else that you're not even human, that people like this guy and the others who attempted similar things were also like insistent and didn't know what boundaries are. You feel dehumanized. And I just want to be human. And I did read the comments. I didn't put the heart in them because I don't know, it didn't feel right. But I did read the comments on the last video, and I appreciate the kindness. And I'm sorry that one of the people who have been the most consistent in supporting me, like, has been through something similar. Like, yeah, that's why I feel like people who find my stuff are just people who probably need help in some way. I wish I could help, but I can't. I can't even help myself. So how can I help others? And I'm sorry, this is again not good vibes video. It's really this despair, I guess. And seasonal affective disorder that strikes me in the summer. Like I'm one of the lucky few who feel this in the summer. Like autumn and winter are just when I feel the best. Spring and summer, like spring, early spring, okay. Until April, all is good. After April, it's just downhill. Even with medication, like medication helps, but it doesn't do any miracles. Like, yeah, it's not a magic potion. It's not. Yeah, this isn't a magic potion. It's a mug of coffee with a poorly made crochet cozy around it. It was the first. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was the first thing that I successfully made in crochet, so it's important. It's special. It's really, yeah. I'm feeling all the symptoms of the seasonal affective disorder that strikes in the summer for some people. Like it's 10% of the population, I think. I didn't know this was a thing until very recently. I didn't know why I felt so bad during the summers, like until when I still had my grandma. It wasn't as bad, even though I didn't like it, but it wasn't as bad because I had my grandma. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it without being the person who comes online and cries. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Yeah, and the job hunt has not been going well because obviously they prefer people without qualifications, like academic qualifications. And customer service would just, yeah. There are easier ways to end it. Not saying what it is. Yeah, summer used to be tolerable when my grandma was still around. Even though it was always mixed because, yeah, it was holidays and yeah, lots of things happened during the summers of my life. And my grandma was the best part of them. But now she's gone. And yeah. It's the yeah. Bottom line is that it's the dehumanization and the fact that I don't really have anyone to turn to that would take this lightly and not, or rather it would be either not taking it very lightly, or it would be trying to distract me from it, which would not work because it's just too much, and summer is really really bad for me. And now the safe space that was the library no longer is it, like it's like everyone knows this guy's antics and he's had issues in the past, but the difference is that he was called out for it. But since I'm older and I again don't want confrontation, I was polite and didn't straight up tell him to leave me alone, because that's what I wanted from the library, to be left alone and in silence. Like, when my brother goes with me and stuff, I'm okay. Because it's my brother. And it's fine to talk with my brother. Like, my brother is very big, but he's my baby. Because we have 11 years of age gap between us. Like, I literally saw him on day 2 of his life. So, it's... yeah. Nowadays, nobody can really tell who the eldest is. But there was a point in time when it was obvious. It's just that now it isn't, especially because darker skinned people like my brother tend to seem older than they are. In Western societies, at least. I mean, when I look at him, I just see baby. But other people don't seem to see it the same way. But it's my brother. It's when my brother is there that I feel some form of safety, because my brother, despite also having some trauma, like he's big and imposing, and yeah, when he gets mad, he gets really mad, and yeah, it could be worse, I guess, if my brother wasn't there. Yeah, it's really pathetic. That my my younger brother, so much younger than me, is the one who makes me feel safe against this kind of stuff. Mm, no cuts. No cuts. Maybe eventually I'll make a scripted video talking about that person I mentioned and why I relate. But maybe not now. Maybe not now. Because I don't feel in the right mindset to do that. So I guess this was just a podcast, a one person podcast, where I was just venting about dehumanization. And yeah, I know that these experiences don't have to define me, but I feel like in a way that they do. Like, disregarding any sort of identity or whatever. I feel like being stuck in the past. Just, I don't know what I could have become. I could have been if I had had a normal upbringing without complex trauma, without being afraid constantly, and yeah, all of this. Like, of course, when you have congenital issues like ASD and ADHD, it's bound to affect you in some way, but if you have a good support system, you can find ways to deal with it, even when you like between level 1 and 2, like me, and become non-verbal sometimes. But I didn't have that either, and I was actually punished for that, for being strange and stuff. So it wasn't just my appearance that set me apart in the worst possible way. Like, in a school context, obviously. It was really that as well. The fact that I made friends at all is really still something that baffles me, because it was like being adopted over and over. Like these people would see me alone and try to befriend me, and I just I have no idea why. No idea why. But I still have contact with some of those people. And it's weird to hear them say that it's just because I was alone and seemed nice. when when I was subjected to like attacks, I will retaliate. So that wasn't very nice, was it? But I guess to them it wasn't something that made them afraid or something. I don't know. And if people came to me and tried to befriend me and tried to talk to me, I would talk to them like I wasn't a wild animal or something like that. I was just not very talkative, but if people talked to me, I would talk to them, and And I made some friends like that, like people I would hang out with and would want to hang out with me. But yeah. Right now I don't really have that, because everyone is far away, everyone has their own life. And that's fine. That's fine, obviously, that's fine. But I just it's part of the reason why I feel so weak and so less than human, like being dehumanized and all that. But I feel like I'll never be a full person. I'm just not. Just not made for this world, I guess, is what I want to say. I wasn't made for this world. Maybe that's why I was so obsessed with space and aliens when I was a kid. I love space, like outer space. But I was really into that when I was a kid. It's this, I just feel like the reason why these especially, well, in my experience it's only cis and straight males come after me is because I seem like an easy target, because I don't really just push them away right away, because I'm not like that. I'm not 12 anymore. Like I won't fill a bag with rocks and throw them at the people who bullied me. That's specific. Yeah, I know. When you're a kid, that's just a kid being a kid. When you're not an adult, you just, yeah, that doesn't, you don't do that. And I never liked confrontation. I only ever got in fights when I was pushed over the edge. And yeah, those moments I really felt like I wasn't human. Like I was, yeah, the animal side just jumped. Yeah, so maybe there's a reason I'm dehumanized, because of that behavior. I don't know. If there's reincarnation and stuff, what the hell was I in my past life to be dealing with this now? And yeah, again, suffering is not something that's measured with a tape measure, but yeah, it's hard for me not to think that there's people in much worse situations. Even this person, despite the financial status seemingly being extremely good for them, seems to have had a worse upbringing. In some regards, I guess. I don't know the full story, and I guess nobody will ever know. But yeah, I may do that video eventually when this cycle ends. Because I don't want to seem like I'm hopping on a trend. Like I said, this isn't a channel with pretensions of being more than a chatting channel where I ramble for over 50 minutes about absolutely nothing. And yeah. Just to end this on a less negative note, look at this. The McCall's Book of Handicrafts. I've mentioned this book in the past. It cost me a grand total of €2.50. Maybe less. I think it was less, actually. No, I think I paid €1. €1.50 for this whole book, hardcover, vintage, in extremely good condition. Which was printed in Czechoslovakia. Let's see what's the latest date. 1974. This book is from 1974. This book is over 50 years old. and look at the quality of the stuff in it, like the prints at least. Some of the crafts look very, very, very odd, like this thing. I mean, I guess this was all the rage in the 70s. But batik specifically seems to be a very old kind of art. Um, mm, yeah, this is a very not traditional way of doing the batik, because I looked it up, and there are tools specifically designed to do batik, which seems to be a very old form of art, and you can create designs in clothes like this with it. It's like dropping wax on stuff and then dyeing the fabric with like dyes, paint. This is just mentioning brushes and toothpicks and stuff. Yeah. Maybe I'll try one of these things eventually. But only if I like the batik. I think I would only do it if I had the right tools for it. Right now, McCall's book is used as a base for when I want to write something. Yeah, a lighter note to end this, because yeah, I do have interests and I do like things, but lately I've just been feeling dehumanized again because of this resurfacing trauma. And yeah, well, this is long. I'm sorry. I just, yeah. Now that I'm doing this a lot more sporadically, I guess I mean, you know, watch if you want. Don't. If you don't, I'll put warnings in the description and the title. And yeah, well, I know that someone said that I deserved to be well for my own sake, but unfortunately I can't. I can't. I can't really feel that I deserve it. So I'm sorry, but I will just wish that anyone who's watching this just stays well and is doing well. and tries to do well for themselves. And if for some reason I have some sort of impact, for my sake as well, because knowing that others are doing well makes me feel better. Just don't harm anyone, don't harm yourself, and stay happy, stay well. And yeah, this is over 1 hour long, and it was just me rambling, just yapping and yapping and yapping and venting, with moments of silence and stuff. Yeah. But I'm trying. I'm trying to stay around, okay? So, while I wish that you stay well and happy in my stead, I will try to stick around, and I will do my best to keep my threats alive. The threats of returning. So I'll be back. That's a threat. Hopefully.